I don't usually do videos that are kind of unboxing videos, but I thought this was a little bit different, so it may be worth a wee look, because this is brand new. This new trackball from Logitech. So I'm quite an advocate of trackballs. I used to have a Microsoft Trackball Explorer, I think it was. I mean, this would be like 10 years ago or something along those lines, maybe even longer than that, which I used for years, and it was fantastic. I loved it. It was one where the trackball was kind of, you use with your fingers, and then these buttons here you use with your thumbs on either side, and it worked great. So I loved it. But I mean, I used it for years and years and years, and eventually it got to the point, I think some of it had broken inside, so one of the little ball bearings wasn't working properly, and so it was all getting a bit scratchy, and it didn't work. So I've been through a number of different mice, Logitech mice and Microsoft mice. The last few years I've been using one of these with the Sculpt ergonomic mouse, which is a very kind of round thing, so it's actually quite nice in your hand, because it works well, and the buttons will fall really pretty nicely in hand. There's especially here, there's a wee back button that you can't quite see. It's just under there, but if you're on a browser or whatever, that is great. And then you've got your scroll wheel and all the rest that works fine, Windows key and left and right and all that. So it's been great, it's working okay. I've been actually having a few glitches recently, both with this and with the keyboard, which I suspect is down to, because these kind of came as a pack together. I assume something has changed, a driver or something on the computer, and so I've had this over the years a few times, where you get kind of delays happening and stuttering. You're moving the mouse and the cursor is stuttering as it's moving. You're sometimes typing and it stutters and it misses a few keys and keystrokes and things like that. It's intensely annoying when you are trying to work hard, and especially when you're sort of touch typing, you're typing away and it's missing out all various bits and bobs. So I am I'm persevering with this, but kind of in my frustration, I saw this new, let me put this back up here, Logitech mouse had just been released, and I thought, ooh, I wonder if that is as good as the old one, because as much as I like the mouse, and this mouse is fine, I've always quite liked the sort of static trackball, but you're just moving around for the kind of stuff that I'm doing. So I thought I'd try it. So anyway, here it is, the Logitech MX ERGO. I think this is their first new trackball since about 2008 or something like that. Now I did have a Logitech touchpad thing, which was specifically designed for Windows 8, I believe it was, and which worked absolutely fine, but I do a lot of editing of stuff, and a trackpad just doesn't work as well as a mouse or a trackball for moving around text and images and all that kind of stuff. So although it had really good gesture support and all that, I gave up with it because it just doesn't work. So anyway, this is what we've got here. There's the back of it and what's going on there. Yes, you can have it in a couple of different positions. This thing here, how it goes, and it's a rechargeable battery in it, so it's not regular batteries, which generally with the Microsoft ones I've been using have been okay actually. Oh look, there's a bit of connector here. I'll need to just cut through. Let's get a little craft knife here and cut through there, and do the same on this other side. Apologies if this is not focusing well on this, and put that back. Okay, open that up. and slide this out, I assume. See what we've got in here. Okay, paperwork stuff. Throw that back in there and take that cover off, and there it is. And charging USB, just a micro USB, always quite handy to have an extra one of those. And the wee dongle. Now this has both Bluetooth, I believe, and you can use one of these unifying dongles or something like that, the Logitech ones. So I've already got one of these that runs both of the Microsoft stuff in my computer, but it works fine having the other one on, because I've sometimes had that with running the trackpad at the same time. So we will just plug that in. I do have Bluetooth on my main computer, but so I might try that, or might try. I'll try this first. It seems I've got a socket here anyway, and I assume the one that I have for the trackpad would work just as well. All right, that's it plugged in and setting up device. It says on the computer. So while it's doing that, I'll have a wee look at this. Take that off there, and that was it saying. I suppose I should have a look at this. Download logitech.com/options. Oh, maybe I should do that. It says on the computer, unifying doohickey all set up. It didn't actually say doohickey, but you know what I mean. Yeah, so this comes off. This is a nice solid, that's kind of rubber on the back there. This is a proper bit of aluminium, or yeah, I assume it's aluminium, which magnetically attaches to this, and you'll see that this is kind of two different angles here, if I get it kind of lined up right. So when this is in place, just like that, you can actually, it goes from one place to another, so you can get different angles for this on the table, which is all quite clever. And I think I will tend to use it at more of an extreme angle. Yes, that feels absolutely perfect, and very similar actually to the kind of the way your hand naturally fits on this is how when it's in that position your hand naturally fits there. So we will see how this works. Right, so what have we got on here? We've got the buttons here, we've got a scroll wheel that is, feels okay. It also clicks left and right, and of course there's a center press. Well, the button here allows you to actually sync this with two different, if you've got Bluetooth profiles, two different computers, so you can move it between them with that. It's quite handy. Your extra buttons that would normally be under a thumb, you've got the track wheel here, of course, and then you've got this button here goes in, by default mode it's set to a precision mode, so it increases the DPI, the dots per inch, the sensitivity of the track wheel. So as you move this a certain distance, it will move less on the screen, so it gives you more fine control if you're doing something. Now I'm going to have to work out, because I'm so used to using the thumb for doing the back when you're browsing and things like that. I was thinking I might just revert to using that for doing that roll, that button. It's all flexible, you can change it all online. Either that, or I'd use one of these two buttons for doing the back. So we'll see. Right, it looks pretty nice. It actually feels pretty good. This is a kind of soft here, this is a slightly harder. Ball feels fine, it's nice and smooth the way that's working. You can pop it out to clean it. I think you've actually got to, yep, there's a hole here, so you can shove something in that then will pop that out. Right, I will turn on power switch underneath here. Oh, that's actually got quite a powerful magnet in it to hold it in place there. And see if we have. Oh yeah, it's actually working on the computer now, so I'm all in business. So I think I'll need to download the software for this, and then get that up and running. But it seems to be all good. Logitech have clearly moved into a new logo, Logi, like that it says. And yeah, so I'm going to set it up and let me try it that way. Nah, definitely I want it more at the I think it's 20-degree angle. It switches over. That feels much more natural, especially when your hand is slightly over to the right for using it. Of course, only for right-handed people. They do not make a left-handed version of this, which is a bit of a shame if that's what you're wanting to use. But there we are. Okay, I'm going to try it out and see how it feels.